it's 4:30. I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order because I know we have a full plate. We've got remote attendance pursuant to State Executive Orders 2020-07 and 2020-18, which can be found in the agenda, the full text. So next I will take a motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes the approval of agenda, approval of January 2021 minutes, and the October 29th, 2020 minutes, which we had not previously approved. So
I just sent the January minutes today. I hope you had a chance to look at them.
I'll be honest, I did not. It's been absolutely bananas at work, so.
I had time to look at them right before this, so.
Yeah,
I did too. I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All right, so who all is here so far? All right, it's just you guys. All right, so it'll be Sophia.
Yes.
Kate.
Yes.
Michael. Did you say yes? You're on mute.
Okay, yeah.
There we go. And Greg.
Yes.
All right. And Samantha, yes. So the consent agenda has passed. So we'll move on to public comments. Rick, are there any?
No.
Any written communication from the public?
No.
All right. And so next on the agenda, we were going to have Christina Fuller, the diversity consultant, come and talk. We are probably going to do that next month. So the diversity committee is going to meet and talk about and then present a recommendation to the board. So so we'll just move on to the art gift for approval. Hi, Carl.
I sent you guys that. I sent you guys that, and I told you the backstory, and I have that. I'm going to just quickly read that to you. This is from Katie Comerford. In 1985, she writes, I was one of the 2 winners of the Young Authors Award at St. Thomas Elementary School. The winners of the award that year were prized with a live illustration of their stories. My book, entitled Dr. Pickle Pickle's Secret, was about a pediatrician who kept toys in his office to occupy his young patients, but then played with the toys himself when it was done. The card that is pictured with the piece is actually inaccurate. Larry Weatherholt, local area, Decatur area artist, came to the school and drew and painted the illustration of the small assembly. After it was completed, it was framed and hung in the main hallway of the school until the school was closed in 1991. At which point my parents took possession. I thought this might be a good fit for the Decatur Public Library because artists supporting the love of writing. Weatherholt is still a familiar name to many residents of Decatur. And the library is already in possession of some of his work, and I don't know if we are or not. We aren't, to my knowledge. If the board is interested in keeping the piece, I'd be happy to underwrite the cost of a new matte frame that would better suit the library. So
Becky just nodded that we do have other.
Do we? Okay. And I can share that screen if you'd like.
Yeah, go ahead. I have mine up on my other monitor. So.
There it is.
So this artwork was actually prepared in 1985.
Correct.
By a then Katie Comerford, who was in grade 3 at a school here in Decatur.
Yeah, she didn't do the artwork. She wrote a story, and this local artist, Mr. Weatherholt, is the one who did the work.
Okay.
And she came into possession. Her I believe it was her dear mother passed away recently. We got a large number of donations in her memory, and she got in touch with us and asked if we wanted this. And the policy is that any art donated to the library is you guys' decision.
Any story behind this? I mean, what it's representing? Any significance of the letters that are on the little blocks?
Just the email that I just read to you. That is the backstory. Let me copy that and put it into the chat.
No hidden meaning, hidden agenda.
To my knowledge.
Political or otherwise. Social.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Greg, why do you have to make this so difficult?
Well, and I did the Young Authors Project, thing when I was in grade school at Dennis. So, I mean.
And Larry Weatherholt was kind of at a time, he did a lot of stuff here in town.
Hi, Amy.
Hey, Becky, can you talk about, you said we have some other of his work in our possession. Can you talk about that?
There's, I have a plaque for something that was done for the Friends of the Library. I believe it's one of the items that was hanging in the lobby. I'm not quite sure where it is right now, nor do I remember what it looks like, but we do have a few of his other pieces. And I think we have some of his pieces in local history as well.
Is it appropriate to add to your collection?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is local. I mean, the Cumberford family is a big deal in Decatur. I mean, Mary Jo is well known. And this is her daughter, is it not?
Correct.
Yeah. So no, we'd happily take it. I don't know if we can display it right away, but it can go into the temporary rotation of stuff that we would put out.
Okay.
I know some Cumberfords. I don't know if they're related or not, but.
So are we looking for a motion then to accept this? Okay. So I will entertain a motion to accept this piece of artwork.
So moved.
All right, Michael.
I second.
All right, Greg. So we'll go down the list. So Sophia?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Carl?
Yes.
And Amy?
Yes.
All right, and Samantha, yes. So that artwork will be accepted for the library. I'll go back to my agenda here. So now we're moving on to the City Librarians report.
I'll keep it fairly brief because we have a lot on our plate today. In January was when we reopened. The statistics for the month of January were about what you'd expect. Considering we were closed for most of the month, we saw about a 44% decline in the total number of materials loaned, but we're continuing to see big increases in electronic materials, 34% increase in that. The total electronic content used was up actually about 46%. So that's kind of huge. Slightly smaller declines in interlibrary loans. Something that, website traffic was pretty strong, but, again, what do we have to compare this to? Not much. So I think February is going to tell us a lot more, and I'm hoping that we're going to inch back towards normalcy. But January's a busy month in administration. We interviewed many candidates for the secretary position, and I will get to that when we talk about the personnel update.
Okay. Any questions for Rick? All right, thank you. So we'll move on to the division head reports. Robert, are you ready?
He may not be. He stepped away to help with the tax folks.
Okay, I see. So Becky, you wanna hop on?
Sure. Well, big news. I don't remember what I shared with you guys last month. So local history is opening its doors 10 to 2 Monday through Friday on next Monday on the 22nd. So that'll be our first time open to the public on a fairly regular basis since November. The lights in the local history room finally got fixed. They were constantly on for a good, 4 or 5 months. They are now, we have the ability to turn them off.
Okay.
Yeah. And for Omeka, which has been the big project that I will probably continue to talk about for the rest of my life, 700 glass negatives are now on there. I actually added one today of Fred Long, who was a member of the Negro National League, also a huge athlete from Milliken. So he is on there. Totally cool picture of him. It's a freshman, so he's 18. Has a baby face. It's very cute. Also, we are done with the 2019 minutes on Omeka, and we are now moving on to 2020. And adding a few extra committee minutes that have come up that we have found hidden in a crevice somewhere on the digital site. So that's what's going on in our area.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we're just moving ahead.
I don't know, I might have told you, but I did find my great grandfather in one of the pictures. So that was cool when he was signed up for the war. So.
In one of the Macon County draftee photos. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's really cool how we were able to put so much keyword in there so people can actually find them. So they're tagged really well.
It was really cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Becky? All right, I think we lost Robert again. So we'll move on to Alyssa.
Okay, I'd like to share that we had the Conversations with Kabeji and Kareem program that featured Jerry Kraft, the author and illustrator of Class Act. And I know we had at least 47 kids logged in. I know that one teacher in, it was out of our municipality, had all of their kids logged in to watch. So that was really, really cool, handled really well. And Susan could talk to you for about half an hour about how wonderful that was.
Oh, yeah.
Also, starting this week, Jess Hill, who was our community resource coordinator, but you may have remembered her as our social work intern over the summer. She started yesterday and she has set hours. So she'll be here about half a day, Monday through Friday, and she'll be here every second Saturday. And the big thing that's been on my plate, as I think we have told you before, I am the ILA Reporter Advisory Committee Chair for the 2020-2021 year. And I am working on an article with Jennifer Robertson, who is a librarian at Carbondale. And it's on social justice and anti-racism. And we have sent out a survey through Rails and IHLS, and the response has been overwhelming. I would say about 60 people responded. And it's fascinating, and it's turning our article in a new direction. But you will see Decatur Public Library featured in that article, as well as many others. Part of our goal, our objective, is to make sure that different kinds of libraries are represented from all of the geographic regions of Illinois, and also the populations that we serve, that we show the diversity that's there. So really kind of excited to get that done. That'll come out in the June issue. And I also found out today that our March issue is the largest one ever at 72 pages. So we are filling it full.
Awesome.
I think that school was Central A&M, I believe that.
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, she was excited. She was really excited. I saw her like the day after it happened, and she was just like over the moon. So it was really cool.
Cloud 9.
Good.
All right, any questions for Alyssa? All right, then Matt, you are up.
Oh, our VPN is up and running. I'm trying to roll out to more staff so they can connect and work from home if need be. Last month, Chris and I were pretty busy. We had 110 requests for help, which is 57% more than the previous January. And other than that, Chris and I just work at keeping the computers updated, Windows updates. There's a lot of them, and there's always one or two computers that don't want to update, so they take more time than you probably think.
And I probably didn't account for more than 10% of those help calls.
Well, no, not really. I don't know.
That, I mean, working from home with the virtual private network it's been a game changer, and a lot of work went into that, and we're very appreciative.
Awesome. That's awesome. I know how convenient it is to work from home and having that access. So, all right, we'll move on to Carol.
Hi. So tech services is a numbers game, as you know. And so I was just thinking about a number that might be interesting. And so I compared a couple of spreadsheets. So as it turns out, 2020, the total number of what we brought in compared to 2021, we did 90% of the number. I'm sorry, 2020 and 2019. So 2020 was only 10% less than 2019, even though we were closed 2.5 months. So I thought that was pretty good, because that's not just TS either. That means the people that order, the people that select, I mean, that's everybody. So if we only drop 10% being closed 2.5 months, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But we're pretty much working the way we always did. It's just that sometimes we have to have a Zoom meeting to talk about cataloging. So that's new. But I feel like we're doing more collaborative stuff. I think the departments are doing more collaborative things. We're working together more. So things are going very well here. The only thing that's not back to complete normal in TS is our ordering. Like Baker and Taylor sometimes will send us a whole bunch of stuff at once, and then we wait a while to get more stuff. So we kind of have that inconsistency on that end, but we've got so many back burner projects that, you know, even if we have to wait a week or two for stuff, we have plenty to do.
And Baker Taylor is our biggest supplier of books, yeah. and they are, and that those issues are on their end. I mean, we're ordering the same way we've always ordered, but the supply chain is such that, and Samantha knows about supply chains, is such that you know, we're getting the books are arriving in a very lumpy kind of way. So yep. Feast or famine.
Yeah, but we just roll with it. Becky supplies us with projects periodically. She wheels a cart in and busy.
Is your background from Beauty and the Beast?
You know, I just call it the magical library. I don't but it's possible.
Actually, I was trying to determine what that was from.
It is kind of cartoonish, but
I kind of look Disney, but Disney-ish.
I like it. Yeah. I don't know. I see Robert's back, but I don't know if he's there. Oh, there he's not again. I don't know. Well, we can come back to him when he's fully back. So we can move on to the reports of committees. So Michael, you're on mute. Michael, you're on mute.
I'm used to nobody listening anyway, so it doesn't matter. We had a meeting at the PPPR, and we don't really have a much here, but Rick's going to update us on personnel.
Yeah, we hired a secretary. We're hoping that she can start March 1st. Just got some paperwork in today, and I'll get it over to City HR. Her name is Michelle Whitehead. She was, her last position was as administrative secretary to several of the VPs at Decatur Memorial Hospital.
Okay.
With fantastic recommendations and a lot of great work experience. So we're excited about that. We're really close to filling one of our vacated clerk spots from within, and also promoting someone to one of the clerks to clerk 2. So we will be interviewing an internal candidate, the only internal candidate for the clerk 1 position, who is now Paige, and we're really excited. We think he'll be fantastic at the job.
Well, that's great.
Okay. And then on B, we have the library records policy, and we have to approve this. You guys should all have it or had it in Rick's packet. If you have any, do you have any questions concerning this? Everybody get a chance to read it?
There is no change to it.
Yeah, so it's
the same as it was before.
And it's also state law. It's just us adopting state law as policy.
So we just need to go ahead, Samantha.
Well, I was going to say, do you want to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the library records confidentiality policy as presented.
Need a second?
I'll second.
All right, there you go. So we'll go down the list. So we've got Sophia.
Yes.
Kate.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Greg.
Yes.
Carl.
Yes.
Amy.
Yes.
And Susan.
Yes.
All right. And Samantha, yes. So that policy is passed.
And I don't, go ahead, Rick.
I was just going to interject that the division heads aren't required to.
Oh, yes.
But they're welcome to.
Yes, you can stay if you want. But bye, guys.
Well, now that you mention it.
I know.
Thanks for having us. See you next time.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, guys.
Robert, did you want to talk about your stuff?
Oh, yeah.
I could hear you. I couldn't get in. Rick covered most of it. The circulation part, I think, and he just covered that open position is in circulation that we're looking to fill. So I think that's kind of it in a nutshell. It was sort of business as usual last month. We had it was down with the circulation compared to the year before, of course, but pretty much sort of a routine month, I guess.
It's good to be back at a certain, like half. I know we were halfway through, but it was good to be back in to see you guys in person.
Also worth mentioning that it was probably the fastest PPPR committee meeting in the 7 years I've been here.
Even after talking about some other
You're welcome.
Other things that we did chat about some other stuff, but it wasn't much to report that we want to. So there's no finance and properties committee. So do we have the numbers? I don't see them. Or wait.
No, I told you if you want to discuss them, I'd send them, but otherwise they could just be looked at next month.
Okay, then
there's not a whole lot you can glean from 1 month of data anyway. Okay.
So we'll move on to the foundation annual appeal update.
There's not a lot more, but we're under 13,000. But maybe Betty Jo can get me the exact number if she wants to put it in the chat. But it's approaching $1,300. But I think that we've probably seen the last of it for the year.
All right. So then the Friends of the Library meeting.
Yeah, and I said 1,300 of where I meant 13,000. Friends of the Library meeting, they had no requests for funding this last month. With less programming, there's less asks, which works out well because their revenue has trickled down to next to nothing. They're just doing a big kind of overhaul of their bylaws right now. And so really a fairly uneventful Friends meeting, which was also a record. I mean, it was like they start at 4 and we were done by like 4:35.
That's crazy. That is crazy talk. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You guys don't know. We could go on for hours probably. So, all right. So IHLS, anything to report there?
I'm not sure where we are on it, but they were considering for a new app for all of Share, and I haven't gotten an update on where we are on that, but it's really, really cool and can do a lot of things. Some of it is what's the name of that app, Robert, that we've got for
My Libro.
Yeah, for the My Libro, it has a lot of cool features. So this one is called Solus, and it's like My Libro on steroids. And if we get it for the entire Share system, it's going to be very, very cool. It'll have the capacity for people to check out items in the stacks on their phone. So, and we've looked at, Robert and I looked at something like that a couple of years ago. Just it wasn't right for us at the time, but this will be very cool. So that's all that's going on right now that I'm aware of this year.
Awesome. All right, any questions, guys? All right, so we will move to old business, board opening discussion. So I did reach out to the mayor. She got back to me. She said she does not have any candidates at the moment. So if anybody has any suggestions, we will continue to take them every month. So per our kind of, I also asked about our discussion that we had last month about you guys, like Greg and Michael. And so she did, if you guys are willing to stay, she did mention that she would be happy for you to stay on as trustees. So you can consider that. And, you know, just let me know and, you know, we'll communicate with her.
Was it, I have a question about that because I know we talked about that. I can't remember. Was she talking about another full term appointment or
that's what I would
stay on until? Okay.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm sorry. I haven't had a chance. She got back to me on Monday and then all the weather hit. And so I haven't had a chance to ask her. So what she specifically means, but just consider, you know, staying on a little bit longer, at least.
That's the question I would have as well, whether, you know, that's a full 3-year term or.
Because that's a long time.
Yeah. Or if it's just until the next, you know, candidate is found.
Yes. And I mean, because I know that's a long time. You guys have served for 6 years at this point, I believe. So that's a commitment, you know. So I'll ask her. But, you know, I know you guys had seemed okay with staying at least a little longer to
Correct.
help out.
Correct.
I contacted a couple of people and they just don't have the time or don't want to make the commitment.
I know. It's hard. I understand it's hard.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's similar for me. You know, that, you know, yeah, it seems to be difficult, as Michael says, to find people that, you know, want to afford the time to serve.
Because I know, I mean, I know we're like, we have another part of this meeting tonight. So the annual meeting, but I mean, these aren't always short meetings and there's multiple. So, so I understand the commitment. So,
Samantha, can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
So I know we've talked about getting the list from the Bruce Nims.
I did ask her that. Yeah.
So we haven't seen it yet, but we're going to get it.
Yeah. I would have to go back to her email. I know I did mention that. Let me see. She's been in contact with Bruce and having someone from the Community Foundation send me the latest group of board governance class graduates. So hopefully she'll have a list of candidates that are actually interested in serving. I mean, if they sat and took the three session course, you know, maybe we would have somebody willing to serve. So, all right. Anything else? Is there any other old business that anybody can think of? All right, so we'll move on to new business. And so this is where I guess I should have asked like how we would do this. If you're not in, you know, how we would get a hold of you. Do you just want me to text you and we're done? If you're on mute.
Sorry.
It just struck me, I wonder if we shouldn't do a separate recording for it, but I don't know that there's a practical way to do that. So yeah, why don't you just text me? I will leave my video up and so that you know that I'm not here. But
so let's start off. So we will be discussing the city librarian's performance evaluation and compensation. So I do need a motion. So what we're kind of talking about is I need a motion to go into closed session.
You have to read that whole thing, I think.
This portion of the meeting may be held in closed session pursuant to 5 ILCS 120. I don't know what that symbol is.
That has to be part of the motion. So when you move, you have to cite the
right
statute that, yeah. So.
Right.
That's what I meant.
So I will take a motion of what I just said
I make a motion
to go into closed session pursuant to that.
pursuant to all of that.
Is that good enough?
Do we need to read that, Rick?
It wouldn't. It wouldn't hurt.
Kate, we have an attorney here.
Read it. I'll make the motion.
She'll make the motion. I'll second it.
I move to close this portion of the meeting so it may be held in closed session pursuant to 5 ILCS 120 section 2 subsection C1.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kate.
All right, and then Sophia seconds it. And then Rick is going to leave.
A quick reminder: no action can be taken
in a meeting.
Correct. And Robert's going to stay.
You have to strictly keep discussion to the topics at hand. And I think that's it. And I think Kate can keep you legal on all the rest of the stuff. So yeah. I'm going to.
Do I leave? Rick, I leave?
I think probably a good idea.
Okay. I didn't know what to do.
I think staff should go, but if you want to keep Robert here, if you have any questions for him, that's your call.
I will say personally, Robert, if you do not mind staying, I would accept that.
Sure.
Don't jump, Rick.
Oh man.
Do we have to vote? Do we have to vote individually to go into closed session?
Yes, I think we do.
Right.
Okay. Then yes. Yes. Okay. So we'll do that now. Sorry.
Yep.
So Sophia.
Yes.
Kate.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Greg.
Yes.
Carl.
Yes.
Amy.
Yes.
Susan.
Yes.
Samantha. Yes. Okay. So we are talking